Hey guys, Emeka here. How's it going? In this video, I want to talk to you about this one book that did over $1,500 in sales its first day published. All right, so like I've been saying, this is not a clickbait video. I don't do those. This is one book that it was not, I'll tell you right now, this was not my book. It was, his name's John Vroman. He's an author that I launched this book for. I was the head launch manager for the book, and I designed the launch strategy. It's the same strategy that I teach inside my blueprint course. And you know, we did it, and it made him over $1,500 his first day. A little later in the video, I'm going to show you the income proof, just, you know, for any doubters. Walk you through his, I guess, his dashboard there. But what I want to do in this video is I got my journal here, and I want to walk you through the process of how this came to be. And you know, those of you who have taken my course, you'll see the similarities of what I teach inside of it and what I'm telling everybody here. But I thought it would be a great case study, so to speak, and just show you what is possible when you do things and you set yourself up the right way with Kindle publishing. So let's dive into it. So first off, the book is called The Front Row Factor. I'll have a link in the description so you can check it out on Amazon. Currently, there's about 115 or 116 reviews. Those are all 100% organic, no swapping or anything like that nature we did for this. Its first day stats, let me go through those. So its first day, we hit the bestsellers list within a matter of hours. We were one of the top 100 books in the self-help category, so not just ebooks. So these are actual the physical books. We were top 100. I think we maxed out at number 86 or so. We had over 80 organic reviews day one. And like I said, well over $1,000 in sorry, this is paperback sales alone. You know, I don't a few $100 in ebook, but you know, paperback sales alone. And so I'm going to walk you through the process. I have a few notes here on exactly what we were doing, and yeah, so why don't I give you some background on, so how did I end up with this gig? So I've known John for a number of years, we both worked for the same company way back in the day, and he saw the success that I was having with Kindle publishing last in the fall, and you know, he reached out to me and said, "Hey, I got a new book coming out, but I have no idea how to get it out to the masses. Can you help?" And hummed and thought about it because it was bigger than I'd had ever done before. I was still kind of newer into the publishing world, so I was still learning a lot. And so we spoke about it over Christmas and into January, and then we both thought it would be a good idea. Yeah, like just go for it and go with it. And I'd been having some success with Kindle by that time already. Yeah, I was making a few $1,000s a month, and I was getting really comfortable with launching new books and the right type of strategy for it. So we committed sometime in February, and then the book launched on March 28th. It went officially live on Amazon. And wow, over that time, it was, I'll say stressful, because I had a lot of responsibility. I wanted to ensure that this was going to be the most successful book launch of his career. He had one book that he did a number of years ago that, you know, I don't think it's doing too much at all, but in terms of being on Amazon. But I really wanted to make this the absolute best launch possible. And so what I did is I researched all top authors I could find, all of them, and found out what were they doing that was making them having the most successful launches. And I'm talking about, like, I was researching, what's his name, Steve Scott, on a recorder, or even Hal Elrod, and these are people, when they launch on Amazon, they go massive. And I believe Steve Scott, one of his latest books, it hit #1 overall on Amazon for a few hours. And so I spent a lot of time researching and seeing what they were doing that worked so well. And then I just, based on all my research, I came up with a plan. And really, these are some of the tactics that I now teach inside my blueprint. But I came up with this plan, and I want to share it with you so you can kind of have a better idea of, hey, what does it take to launch a book that will make over $1,000 its first day? And I'm going to tell you straight up, I am not by any means saying that if you use this, what I teach you in this video, if you use this, your next book will make you $1,000 its first day. Not happening. This is something you need to develop over time. Now, the length of time that it'll take could be 6 months, could be 12 months, could be 2 years. I don't know. It really depends on you and your work ethic. But this is not going to work essentially. There's just going to be missing puzzles for somebody launching a brand new book. And I just want to be as open as possible with you, just so you're not, misled here. And so let me dive into your plan, into the plan here. As you can tell, I got no script. I got my notes, and just kind of wanted to make this more of a relaxed, here's how we did things. All right, so the areas that I'll cover in detail our 10-day launch period. So this was from March 28th, 10 days. I'll cover the prep work that we did beforehand. Now the street team and the launch team, I'll talk a little bit about that, but I'm going to do a separate video on that, because that was a huge part of the success of this book. So there's too much to go into one video. So I'll just do a separate video on that one as well. Email lists. I will talk about how we utilized email lists. I'll also talk about our Amazon pay-per-click as well. I'm going to talk a little bit about the overall book and some neat things that we did that helped with that, and as well as some other social media promotion that we did as well. So let's get into the prep work first. Now, like I said, the prep work was about a month and a half, 2 months before the launch period, and I came up with the overall launch plan. And when I say the launch plan, really it was a specific 10-day period from when the book launched. What were we going to do each and every day during that launch, during that 10-day period, to ensure that we were maximizing everything we could to make this the most successful book launch we could. Like I was saying earlier, a ton of research from some of the most successful authors on Amazon, and so building the launch team was one of the biggest priorities that I had in the beginning, because I knew that having a team of dedicated people who were going to be excited about the book, who were going to be able to leave reviews right away, that was going to change the whole dynamics of the launch. So we really went big on that, and like a few things, like we had a separate landing page for them, we had a Facebook group for them, we were sending text messages to them, we had weekly calls. We did a lot of things that were I guess you could say are the non-traditional things that are taught in a lot of publishing courses or whatnot, because, well, we wanted better results. Like that was just it. So we really I was really thinking outside of the box, saying, hey, what could we do that's just dramatically different that would have a huge impact on a result? And those are some of the things that I was coming up with. And it worked. And like I said, I'll get that video up tomorrow. I'm guessing it should be up. Just subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell so you don't miss it. And we also developed, on top of the launch team, we also developed, I guess you would call it, what did I write down? I put a small review team, but what this team was, just some close friends and family, some members of his, he runs a charity, the Front Row Foundation, members of the charity, to read and comment and find any mistakes that were left in the book, to really make sure that the book was going to be as polished as possible. So really it was only about 10 or 15 people compared to our launch team that had like 200 people. This was only about 10 or 15 people, close friends and family, who were reading the book, and we had it on a Google Doc for them, and they could read it, mark it up where they found edits or errors or something that didn't make sense. And this is on top of going through editors and proofreaders and whatnot. We just wanted the public, the actual reader base, to get a feel for it and to make it as good as possible. And we really focused on building up and building relationships over the period of time up until the launch. And it really just, once again, it all goes back to that launch team. Email lists. Okay, so what we did with the email lists is we emailed our list. So John, he has a small list, just a couple thousand people, nothing, not like 100,000 people or anything like that. And we emailed them 3 separate times over the 10-day period. One thing that you can do with like Aweber, for example, you can, when you send out your email, you can see who's opened the emails and who's clicked. And so we'd send out the email, then we'd send the same email a couple days later with a slightly different heading, but only to the people who did not open the first email. And then we did that a few more days later to people who didn't open either. And by doing that, you just don't bombard people who have opened and taken action on the email, and you're only focusing on nailing the people who are not opening those initial emails. And we saw open rates, they went up. Changing the actual subject, the headline, helped quite a bit in certain cases as well on our open rate. And what I'll do now is, before I get into the whole 10-day period, we ran 2 campaigns back to back. One was 7 days, another we tried it for, I believe we went about 10 days. These are Amazon pay-per-click ads, and what I'll do is I'll cut right now and I'll show you guys the screenshot of the first Amazon pay-per-click ad, and you can see right here that the return on the investment was amazing. It was amazing. Not really sure why it was just so good, because you can see the second one, we ran it again and we just didn't get the best results at all. So not really sure what's going on there, but that's the whole mystery of Amazon pay-per-click ads there. Now, the overall book itself, John really wanted to make sure this was going to be a quality book, and it was professionally formatted. It was just over 200 pages, I believe like 220 or so, and it'd been something he'd been working on for I don't know how long, but a while. But in order to have a launch as successful as this one, you have to have a quality book, and I'd say a 200-page book. And if you're going to, well, not necessarily, but it's like I was saying earlier, it's not going to be your first, second, third, or fourth book, right? This is something that does take time. It takes energy. It takes money. You have to really develop building into having a book launch this big, because a lot of certain things have to happen. Some other things that we did with social media was we reached out to other influencers within the community that I guess are within the niche, so to speak, and we had them cross promote the book to their lists and to their followers on social media. And the way we made it easy for them is we made a list. It was probably like 15 to 20 of just canned phrases for social media, for emails. So they could literally just pick and choose the ones they wanted, copy and paste it, tweak it if they want, and send that out to their followers. And see, by making it as easy as possible, more gets done. If we just ask somebody, hey, Joe Blow, can you make a quick, or do a quick tweet or whatever, say this to your followers, you think of it, and they're less likely to do that. But if you just give them, hey, here are a couple phrases that people have been loving to send out. Do you mind, picking the best ones? You can tweak it, do whatever you want, just get them out. And we found a few people, not everyone, of course, right? But we were able to get some additional promotion with that. And that was definitely key as well. But let's dive into the 10-day launch plan or period. And over days 1 and 2, we did what's called a soft launch. The soft launch was done at 99 cents. And we did not email anybody. We did not promote it. It was just a soft launch of 99 cents. And what this launch was designed for, it was designed purely for the launch team, okay, the street team, to get the book, to download the book and to leave reviews. And we did that. So we didn't want to price, people on your launch team, the price is not going to be a big issue anyways. But we just wanted to make sure that they just knew to download it, leave a review, and get the verified reviews. And we explained to them specifically what verified reviews mean, why they carry more weight, etc. And I even went as far as I filmed a video for them on how to leave a review from different devices. And we posted that inside our Facebook group because we wanted to make sure we got as many people there as possible. And my estimates were bang on with this because I wanted 200 people on the launch team. I'm like, probably going to have about 40 to 50% leave an actual review on day 1. And like I said, it was just over 80 people on day 1 that left a review. And my goal was within that 10-day period to have 100 reviews. And yeah, we hit that, and they're all still there, and that's super key as well. Okay, on day 3, that was the official launch day. Bumped up the price to $2.99, and that was the official day. We sent out some emails, did social media promotion, Amazon pay-per-click ads kicked in on that day, and yeah, that's what we did. Days 4 and 5 is when we tried to get anyone who had any extra influence or any extra emails. So anyone on the launch team, if they had like an email list of a couple hundred people or whatever they did, we had them send an email to their list on that day. Now, why didn't we want to do it all on the first day? Well, because the way Amazon works is anyone can force sales to spike up in one day. But then if they kind of flatline afterwards, that tells Amazon, well, it was just a spike, it was just an anomaly, or whatever the case is. But so what we did was we were showing Amazon constant spikes all throughout this period. That's why we had people email, we had specific people email their list on specific days, because that's just going to keep spiking sales on each day. And by doing this over a longer period of time, it tells Amazon that, hey, people are really liking this book, there's constant sales, we're going to start promoting it on the back end. And so Amazon will actually start promoting their book. Our goal might, if everything went well and, I can't think of the saying, but what I really was gunning for is I wanted to have such an impact that Amazon was actually going to start sending text messages to customers about the book. That's one thing that they do. Our ranking didn't go high enough. I can't remember what the overall book ranking was. I want to say I think we cracked a top 1,000 for a few hours overall books. I can't remember. Don't hold me on that. Sorry, guys. But what Amazon will do if your ranking's high enough is they will actually text your book out to their customers on their phone and saying, "Hey, we're having a promotion on this book." Insane, like insane. If you can do that, that is something. Even John, he just didn't have a big enough following. We did not have enough leverage to get that type of response. But hey, you can hope, right? All right. So where are we? So now, then the next over the course of the next days 6 to 9, we were just doing more follow up, and reaching out to the launch team one by one. See, we were keeping track of everyone who left a review from the launch team. We just made sure we just matched up their name and matched up, okay, they left a review. Anyone who hadn't left a review that was on the launch team, we specifically reached out to those people individually and just connected with them to see how they're liking it and whatnot. We also were encouraging people, as soon as they got the actual physical paper copies in their hands. And on that note, the paperback on CreateSpace, that launched the day before on the 27th, just so it was fully ready to launch on the 28th as well. So we set that up a couple days beforehand. And where was I there? Right. So we were following up with these people just by matching up their name and if they left a review and who they are on the launch team. Obviously, it wasn't me responsible for this. We had a couple different people helping out, but really, in reality, that's something you could have. If you build yourself up to this level, you could have somebody helping you out with that. A VA. Probably I'd get a stateside VA to help with that, and or you probably even get people in the launch team. That's probably even better. To help with that. But these are all things like if you want to go big, this is exactly how we did it. And then on day 10, day 10 was the last day for our big push, and that day we just we bumped up the price to $3.99. It's currently still at $3.99. Now, those of you who've seen my other videos, I'm against Kindle books being above $2.99. Just Jeff Bezos is the founder of Amazon. Hopefully I got his name right. But he said he doesn't want Kindle books more than $2.99. So that just says Amazon kind of favors $2.99 or less Kindle books. But hey, this was not my book. That was not my call. But whatever, it's all good. But really, that's kind of the main meat and potatoes of what we did to have this book launch and have the success that it did. It's still ranking well up on Amazon. You can check it out. Like I said, a link for the book is going to be in the description box, so you can actually go see what the book looks like, so to speak. And but yeah, here, why don't I flip you guys around and I'll show you the royalties of it, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about there. So let's take a look at that. All right, so I'm inside the CreateSpace dashboard, and you can see here, I'll just do this again so you guys can see exactly here. I've picked the first date that this book launched. So it launched on March 28th. We're doing end date March 28th, run report. All right, and you can see here, I'm going to click through every single one of these pages. So you can see the royalties earned per sale is $6.15. There's going to be 255 units sold that day. And we'll click through just so you can see that I don't think there was one other book sold. He only has one other book on the market from a number of years ago. Nothing else was sold. You can see some overseas markets, and just going through every single one, just so you can see that this strategy, it does work. It takes time, but it works. And boom. And I'll bring up my calculator here. If you go 255 times 615, that's $1,560.25 that this book made the very first day it launched. Right, so there you have it, right? It's just over $1,500 its very first day launched. This book has gone on, it'll be approaching $10,000 in revenue over the next few weeks here, and it's still going strong. So it's just so cool to see what you can build your business up to should you decide to go that route. You know, it's just really what's that saying? The sky's the limit, so to speak, right? But like I was saying earlier, everyone, the concepts, the strategy, like that's the ultimate goal that I was talking on. But this launch strategy it's the same launch strategy that I teach all of my students inside the blueprint. You know, it was great that I had this opportunity to really test it out on a larger scale to really solidify and make sure it works, not just for my success, but for, you know, that I was able to replicate it and do it on a bigger scale with somebody else. So those are the strategies that you'll learn inside the blueprint. So if you want more information of that, go check out my selfpublishingblueprint.com. It'll be the first link in the description box. You can go check it out. If you have any questions, of course, just, hey, reach out to me on Facebook. Love to connect with you. Hit me up in the comments if you have any other questions. And don't forget to subscribe, because I'll get the launch, what we did specifically with the launch team. I'll get that up in the next video, probably just tomorrow, and I'll also, as soon as that video is live, I'll link it in the description of this video as well, so you don't have to go searching in my channel for it. Anyways, can't wait to talk to you guys soon. Take care.